There have been a lot of things that I've wanted to do and a lot of things I've been able to be involved in. But, you know, a person like me doesn't do anything alone. If you can't do it as a team, it doesn't get done right. The only time I've been out of Weber County is to serve my mission in Germany for 2.5 years and to serve in the United States Peace Corps in India for almost 4 years. Otherwise, my home has been here.
I met Bob way back when I was fairly young and working early in actually redevelopment.
Well, I've known him for a lot of years. I would say nearly 40 years. And he has had a major effect on my leadership style and how I work in government.
I've known Bob for over 30 years as a friend and also as a business leader.
I started out with him years ago. He was the PR person for the city at the Union Station.
Bob is one of those individuals from very early on in life, cared more about people and finding a way to give back to them than anybody I've ever known.
He asked me to come to Sandy's restaurant with him sometimes, and I feel like it's the first time he's ever taken someone to Sandy's. He makes me feel like that. And when I get there and we go to sit down to have lunch, by the time we get to our table, we've met half the city of Ogden.
I think what I'm grateful for over the years is just great parents that trained me well, and good teachers, good friends and partners, great family all through the years.
My mother is absolutely one of the most, as giving as my father is and as open-hearted as he is. And their marriage to me far exceeds anything that Dad's done in the community.
His foundation is in his home with his family, and then he uses that to bless the lives of others.
I learned something very early from Robert Hunter: never mistake compassion for weakness.
Bob wouldn't say something negative about anybody if he was up against the wall with a gun to his head. He's just an extremely gracious person.
One of the things that I think helped me from my earliest childhood is that I was born to a Republican mother and a Democrat father. And it taught me that there's always another point of view.
He sees the positive things in the community, even when there are problems. And in his present job, I'm not sure there could be a better job, more suitable for Bob than the United Way.
He's been involved in the symphony, on the symphony board. Bob has been, I can't even name all the things he's done right now. Perfect job for him. Perfect job for him is United Way.
We love Bob Hunter because Bob Hunter loves people. You know, when they came up with the "You Live United" slogan, and I honestly think Bob should, I don't know if he came up with it, but he should have, because that is how Bob Hunter lives.
Bob has always tried to incorporate not only his position of authority, leadership position, but has used that to promote change within the community through the nonprofit sector and serving those that are in need.
I think Bob is a professional volunteer. And when I say that, he has a profession, but he's also a volunteer.
Every Saturday for 3 hours, Bob goes down to the state prison or to some other place where people are incarcerated, and he works with them on the 12-step program. And he helps them through addictions, whether they're physical, mental, emotional, but through addictions and a way out.
If you're ever trying to get a hold of Bob, go to his office around 5 to 7 because he'll be sending out his daily keeper to the community. It's not necessarily the message we receive every time that we all appreciate. It's the fact that we know that he's going through hundreds of books trying to find that keeper for us. And that time that he's spending sending those keepers out, that's what makes keepers keepers.
I'm a bit of an aggressive driver, and Bob is not. I sometimes say drives like an old man, and I tease him about it. But I saw the other side of Bob in Vegas one time as he was driving that sort of wasn't a pretty picture. But I will say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so I won't go any further.
He's a source of wisdom. He's a source of strength. He's a source of stability. But more than anything, he's a source of inclusion.
He draws people to want to become better because of their involvement with him.
I consider Bob and Rula to be some of our closest friends that we've ever had.
He's still thinking up things all the time, what's better for the community. And that's really what's good about, really wonderful about Bob, I should say.
I hope that I can look to him as my mentor and say that I emulate his leadership style. I know that he has a hero. Gandhi was his hero.
My dad is definitely my hero. I don't think that there is any question in my mind about that. And he's my hero because he taught me that he didn't need to be my hero. You know, does that make sense? Like his selfless way of raising me and his selfless way of interacting with me as a child and as an adult now, even more so.
Everything he sees through eyes of love. And because of that, I think he's able to work miraculous things in our community and throughout northern Utah.
Bob, we're not done yet. You had a great run at United Way, but there are more things to do. Come and see me.
My greatest accomplishment is really a blessing. And that blessing is being surrounded by noble people who've been willing to lend a hand and give me a push and open up opportunities.
People that don't want credit for things, people that can have the strength to step away from the limelight, I think they should be our heroes, you know, and that's why he is mine.